LEGO Classic Space is one of the most loved themes in LEGO history. Introduced in 1978, it captured the imagination of kids and adults with its cool spaceships, colorful minifigures, and futuristic designs. This theme laid the foundation for LEGO's space adventures and continues to inspire fans today. In this video, we'll dive back and tell you the history of LEGO Classic Space, its most iconic sets, and why it remains so popular even decades later. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates. Let's get started. The birth of LEGO Classic Space. Before LEGO Classic Space arrived, the idea of themed LEGO sets was still in its infancy. LEGO had experimented with a few different themes, but they were mostly generic, focusing on town, castle, and basic construction. Space, however, was an entirely different frontier. The 1970s were defined by fascination with space exploration. NASA's Apollo missions had recently concluded, and the world was captivated by the possibilities of interplanetary travel. Science fiction movies and TV shows like Star Wars and Star Trek added to this sense of wonder. LEGO, ever attuned to the zeitgeist, saw an opportunity to bring the excitement of space exploration into the hands of kids everywhere. In 1978, LEGO Classic Space was born. Unlike previous sets, which were more grounded in reality, this theme leaned into science fiction and imagination. It introduced futuristic spacecraft, moon bases, and mysterious alien landscapes that felt like stepping into an entirely new world. The iconic aesthetic of Classic Space. One of the reasons LEGO Classic Space stands out even today is its distinctive aesthetic. The sets were designed in a palette of gray, blue, and trans yellow, which gave them a futuristic yet approachable look. The primary color scheme was simple but effective, allowing builders to imagine their creations as both realistic and fantastical. The design of the spacecraft and bases was another standout feature. Unlike modern LEGO sets that often prioritize detailed realism, Classic Space embraced simplicity and functionality. Ships like the Galaxy Explorer, set 497 928ths, had bold, clean lines and a modular design that encouraged customization. These sets didn't overwhelm you with intricate pieces or overly specific instructions. Instead, they invited creativity, allowing you to build and rebuild to your heart's content. The transparent yellow windows and domes were a hallmark of Classic Space, giving the vehicles a futuristic vibe. Combined with printed control panels and radar dishes, these elements made each set feel like it belonged in a cohesive, far-off universe. The Classic Space minifigures. LEGO Classic Space would be complete without mentioning its iconic minifigures. These were among the very first LEGO minifigures ever produced, and they set the standard for all that followed. The original spacemen were introduced in 1978 in two colors, red and white. Each wore a simple spacesuit design with the now famous Classic Space logo, a stylized spaceship orbiting a planet. These minifigures were revolutionary in their own right. Before them, LEGO figures were rudimentary, with no moving arms or legs. The Classic Space minifigures were fully articulated, opening up endless possibilities for play and storytelling. Kids could finally imagine their spacemen piloting ships, walking on alien terrain, or conducting experiments in their lunar bases. Over time, new spaceman colors were added to the lineup, each one expanding the universe of Classic Space. Yellow spacemen joined the crew in 1982, followed by blue in 1984 and black in 1985. Each color added a sense of diversity and personality to the theme, sparking debates among fans about the roles of each color. Were the red spacemen commanders? Were the black ones stealthy explorers? LEGO left it to the imagination, and that was part of the magic. Perhaps the rarest and most coveted spaceman of all is the green Classic Space minifigure. While green didn't officially debut during the Classic Space era, it has become an homage in modern LEGO sets, cementing its status as a fan favorite. The most memorable Classic Space sets. The Classic Space theme spanned over a decade, and in that time, it produced some of the most memorable LEGO sets ever created. Each set brought something unique to the table, and together they painted a vivid picture of a thriving spacefaring civilization. One of the most iconic sets is the Galaxy Explorer 497 928, released in 1979. This flagship model was the crown jewel of classic space, featuring a sleek spaceship large enough to transport cargo and minifigures. It came with a moon-based landing pad and a rover, making it a complete playset that allowed kids to create their own space missions. Another fan favorite is the Beta 1 Command Base 6970, which debuted in 1980. This sprawling base featured radar dishes, landing pads, and multiple vehicles, making it the perfect headquarters for any classic space crew. The set's modular design encouraged builders to rearrange and expand it, adding to its replay value. The Space Cruiser and Moon Base 487 920 is another standout. Released in 1979, it showcased the versatility of classic space with a sturdy spaceship and a small moon base. The set's focus on exploration and teamwork exemplified the theme's core values. As the years went on, LEGO introduced more advanced and specialized sets, like the Robot Command Center 6750 and the All-Terrain Vehicle 6927. Each one added new elements and functionality, keeping the theme fresh and exciting for fans. The end of an era. All good things must come to an end, and for LEGO Classic Space, that moment came in the late 1980s. By then, LEGO had begun introducing new space themes, such as Futuron, Blacktron, and Space Police, each with its own unique identity. While these themes were exciting in their own right, they marked a departure from the simplicity and charm of classic space. The original Classic Space line officially ended in 1987, but its influence has never waned. Many of the themes that followed borrowed heavily from its aesthetic and concepts. Even today, you can see echoes of classic space in modern LEGO themes like LEGO City Space and LEGO Creator. The legacy of classic space. What makes LEGO Classic Space so enduring? Part of its appeal lies in its timelessness. The sets were simple yet imaginative, offering a perfect balance between guided building and creative freedom. The minifigures, with their cheerful smiles and colorful suits, became cultural icons, and the theme's emphasis on exploration and collaboration resonated with a generation of kids who dreamed of reaching for the stars. Classic Space has also benefited from a strong sense of nostalgia. For many fans, these sets represent a simpler time in their lives when all they needed to feel like an astronaut was a pile of bricks and their imagination. Today, adult fans of LEGO AFOLs celebrate classic space through custom builds, fan conventions, and online communities, keeping its spirit alive. Modern LEGO sets occasionally pay tribute to classic space, much to the delight of fans. For example, the LEGO Movie featured Benny, a blue classic space minifigure with a cracked helmet and an infectious enthusiasm for spaceships. Benny became an instant fan favorite, reminding audiences of why they fell in love with classic space in the first place. LEGO Classic Space is more than just a theme. It's a symbol of creativity, exploration, and boundless imagination. It brought the excitement of space travel into the homes of millions, inspiring countless adventures and memories. Whether you grew up building these sets or discovered them later through nostalgia, there's no denying their impact on the world of LEGO and beyond. Even decades after its debut, Classic Space remains a beloved part of LEGO history. Its legacy lives on in the hearts of fans and in the countless builds inspired by its timeless charm. So next time you see a red spaceman or a trans-yellow canopy, take a moment to remember the adventures that began with Classic Space and imagine the ones still waiting to be built. That's all for now. I hope you have enjoyed watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching till the end.